We all want resilient children, don't we? We want children to be emotionally strong. When there is some difficulty, we want them to face it, withstand it, recover from it. But the question that I want to raise today is, do we need to be harsh on our children to make them resilient so that they can face the world? So I was sitting at a birthday party with a few moms, and we were discussing how difficult it is to be calm with our children. And one of the moms said that, "Asi teji bacche kut ke hi paale," which meant कि I have raised my children by hitting and yelling at them to discipline them. And she also said that that is how I was raised, and because of which I am emotionally strong today. It is because of this gentle parenting that children say that they have depression. Now tell me truly, how many of you believe in what she said to a certain extent? Anyone? 100%. And I have to be honest myself, sir, because these thoughts have found a way in my mind as well. In spite of being a parenting expert and a firm believer in calm parenting, I have had these thoughts. Especially when my son entered his first standard. 1 whole month, he cried every day before going to school. He would complain that the teacher scolds a lot, there are no toys in the class, I don't like it over there. I could see that he was struggling. From a playway method of teaching, where teachers were loving, they were more understanding, he was entering a more traditional school system, where teachers were stricter, they had to sit at one place, they had to follow certain rules. And that's the time when I started thinking that, oh my God, is my son not able to take the scolding of the teacher because I am always soft and calm with him? Is that the reason he is not able to face the world? In spite of these thoughts, I kept following what I believed in. I validated him. He would say, I don't like it there. I would say, I know it's hard. Teacher scolds me, and I would say that, I know, but you will get over it. I would listen to him. I was emotionally present for him, but I was firm about not missing school. Time passed. Next year, in his second standard, I got to know that the new teacher is even stricter. Now this made me nervous. How will my son face it now? But to my surprise, he was completely fine with the teacher. When I asked him, how's the teacher, does she scold? He said, yeah, but it's okay. And that's when I realized that, oh my God, my son is becoming emotionally strong and resilient. He is able to face the world with a new perspective. And I did not need to be harsh on him for that. You know what I needed to do? I needed to be by his side while he faced the world. And it was not an easy task. I did not talk to the teacher or tell the teacher to be softer with him. I did not even consider changing his section. I did not let him miss a single day of school. I was just by his side while he faced and endured the discomfort. And it is not an easy task to do, because as parents, we are programmed in a way where we just want to protect our children. We want them to be comfortable, happy. We want to instinctually solve all their problems. We would do their homework. We would let them win in a game so that they are not feeling upset about it. We would give them more screen time because they're crying. We would talk to the teachers on their behalf. We would give them permission to things, even if we don't want to, but just because they're upset, we will do that for them. We do not want them to experience difficult emotions. We don't want them to be disappointed, frustrated. We don't want them to be angry. And you know what? Even if we are parents who are following harsh parenting practices, we still protect them and do things for them. So my point over here is that if we want children to be responsible and resilient, we need to let them face the world. We need to let them face difficult situations. They need to make mistakes. They need to find solutions to their own problems. They need to face consequences. We need to hold a safe space, and you know why? How we can do that? By building a strong and secure relationship with them. When they know that we are there for them, they can face the discomfort with more strength. So research says this. Research says when we have secure attachment in our childhood with adults, that promotes resiliency. A meta-analysis review published in June 2018 by Sage Journals reviewed 33 studies and concluded that secure attachment is associated with the presence of resilience. And do you know what research says about harsh parenting? The Millennium Cohort study done with more than 14,000 children, published in 2022, concluded that harsh parenting practices like hitting and yelling resulted in conduct problems like throwing temper tantrums, being hyperactive or showing inattentive behaviors, and emotional problems like depression and anxiety. Another study published in 2022 in Child Development examined the brain functioning of children who were spanked and children who were not. And they found out that spanked children exhibited greater brain response, which was similar to severe forms of maltreatment. That means children who were subjected to severe forms of maltreatment, even sexual abuse, their brain functioning was similar to children who had gone through these practices. Can you imagine? And these studies are very, very important, you know, because otherwise, harsh parenting seems pretty convincing, like Sir said. It's pretty convincing. And not only because we want to raise resilient children, there are so many other reasons that it is convincing. And to name a few reasons, one, very important, it seems to be working. When we are harsh on our children, how many of you think that it works? When we yell at them, when we get angry at them, they do what we are telling them to do. It helps us meet our short-term goal. But we all also understand now what are the long-term consequences, how that is bringing more harm than good to our children. Another reason, we think that if we'll be calm, we'll not show our authority like that, we'll be taken for granted. That does not mean that just because we are calm, we are being lenient with our children. We do have rules and regulations for them. Another reason is that we think that if we will be harsh, we will be able to teach our children the right values. They'll be able to take us more seriously. They'll be taking what we are teaching them. But you know what? Before they learn the right values, what they learn emotional dysregulation because we are showing it to them. They learn anger from us. And last, very important, we believe in harsh parenting practices because we were brought up like that. And we think that if I am fine, then things are fine. I should just continue practicing like that. But are we really fine? Did we really turn out fine? If I tell parents to be calm with their children, they say, we can't. I can't. We can't regulate ourselves with our children. Why? What's happening? And another thing is that the generation today, how many of you believe it's a little different? The world is different. I think we need to update ourselves. Do you know what our children actually need if we want them to be resilient? They need to see us being resilient. How much resilience do we show in our day-to-day lives? When something goes against us, in our families, with our spouses, with our children, in our workplace, how do we respond? Do we start complaining, lashing out, losing our emotional control? Or do we face the situation with emotional strength and patience, regulate ourselves? Because children are watching. That when things do not go according to my parents, when I do not do what my parent is telling me to, this is how they behave. Now next time when things will not go according to me at school, or when my parents will not listen to me, this is how I will also behave. And that's what they're learning from us by watching us, not by what we are telling them, no matter how. So I don't know if harsh parenting practices are making children resilient, but they are definitely making children be harsh on themselves and on others. And maybe that is the reason the world has become such a harsh place. Because for children to learn to be kind, they need to experience kindness when they are children. And trust me, being kind and being resilient can go together in children. And when we start raising resilient children with kindness, we can actually have a kinder world. Thank you.